And with that, let's get more details on the production from Renergen CEO Stefano Marani. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon, Stefano.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Now, it's obviously a joyful day for Renergen shareholders where a small investment is seemingly paying off. Give us a little bit of background on the milestone move.
Yeah, so it's I repeatedly say it's that 10-year overnight success, right? So while yes, we did pay the dollar back in the day, there's an inordinate amount of time, effort, and investment that went into to get it to where it is. This milestone is obviously the key milestone that captured everyone's imaginations. It's such helium as a commodity is such a rare thing to begin with. And to be able to liquefy it means that you've got to literally bring it down to almost 0 degrees Celsius. Kelvin, sorry. So, you're talking about minus 269 degrees Celsius. It is a very, very, very cold thing. And that means that it's at the cutting edge of science. And this is a proud moment. It's only the second time that this has been done in the southern hemisphere. And now there are only 8 countries in the world that are capable of producing liquid helium with this kind of technology, and South Africa is one of them. So it's a proud moment for South Africa, and it's a very proud moment that we could be the custodians for this achievement. It's pretty cool.
A proud moment indeed. Now, you did have those plans to start producing liquid helium back in July last year, but those plans were delayed. Could you tell us a little bit about what those obstacles were at the time?
Yeah, we had several challenges. A lot of them, well, some initially relating to logistics in supply chains, parts not arriving on time, and then yeah, the big event was meant to be when everything was meant to come online in October last year. So that was the new revised timeline based on when logistics chains would work in our favor. And we got LNG online, and then we got the plant to it in about 10 hours of producing liquid helium. And everything would have been absolutely great, except that one of the utilities collapsed. Not physically, but it just went offline. And without the utility, the plant wasn't capable of operating. And so from there, that literally set us back. We managed to get the LNG back online, and since then we've been producing LNG the whole time. But it took us some time to get the helium back to the point where it could produce liquid. And again, it's things like as you start to bring the temperature down from room temperature. First you've got dry ice, then you've got LNG, then you've got liquid nitrogen all the way down at minus 196. And as you start to get colder, you're using different systems within the plant. And some of these systems have never been turned on before. And so when you turn them on for the first time, things happen and they don't always work as they should because a part is faulty and then you need a new part. And then we had the Christmas shutdown, and that was very frustrating. But we got there in the end, without a long song and dance. It was literally just availability of parts and the lead times to get these things either from China or Europe or America or wherever they needed to come from.
Now, Stefano, South Africa is currently facing an energy crisis and there's no end in sight. What strategies have you put in place to ensure that production is not interrupted by load shedding, especially with your plans to boost productions to 50 daily tons this year?
So as it stands right now, our power supply is uninterrupted. It's linked off one of the main Eskom lines, the Perseus line, which in and of itself is incapable of being load shed. So from that perspective, we're fairly confident about our phase one power supply. In time with phase 2, we will self-generate electricity from our own gas, which means it will be completely independent. And so as we ramp up from phase 1 into phase 2 operations, we'll become a net producer of electricity as opposed to a net importer of electricity.
Stefano, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. We'll have to leave it there. Of course, that was Renergen CEO Stefano Marani.